In the cold silence of deep space, a small human research ship drifted near the edge of a dying star. Its crew of 6 had been studying energy fluctuations when the impossible happened. Without warning, every system on the ship froze. The lights dimmed, screens went black, and even the hum of the engines fell quiet. For a few heartbeats, there was nothing, only the sound of their own breathing. Captain Rhea Morgan looked up from her console, her voice steady but tense. "Report. What just happened?" Before anyone could answer, a blinding white light filled the bridge. It wasn't coming from the star outside. It was something else, something massive. The light pulsed, then shaped itself into a strange geometric form, floating in the void. No one had seen anything like it before. "Is that a ship?" whispered Lieutenant Harris. It wasn't. At least, not any ship humans had ever built. The shape was too perfect, too smooth, as if it wasn't made by hands at all. Then a voice echoed inside their minds, calm and cold. "Human vessel, you have been selected for examination." The crew froze. The voice wasn't coming from the speakers. It was inside their thoughts. Captain Morgan tried to speak, but her words didn't leave her mouth. Her mind was being held still. The light outside grew stronger, and in a flash, the crew found themselves standing somewhere else. They were no longer on their ship. They stood in a giant hall of silver light, endless and quiet. Above them floated shapes, machines, or maybe beings, glowing with pale blue energy. One of them descended slowly, like a god stepping out of the stars. "We are the Etherians," the being said. "Explorers of all life in the galaxy. We study to understand. You, humans, are an anomaly." The crew exchanged nervous looks. None of them understood what was happening. The Etherians moved closer, and for the first time, Rhea saw their form clearly. They were not flesh. They were light and metal intertwined, shifting like liquid glass. The being continued, "Your species has advanced rapidly, yet your logic is incomplete. You fight, destroy, rebuild, and evolve. This pattern is inefficient. Yet you survive." The crew realized they were being studied, like animals in a lab. "What do you want from us?" Rhea asked. The Etherian paused. "To know what makes you persist. You are fragile, emotional, divided, and yet you endure where stronger civilizations have fallen. We must understand why." Then, a strange table appeared in front of them. It wasn't made of metal or light, it looked alive, shifting and breathing. The aliens wanted to test them. "Do not resist," the voice said. But humans never listen to commands like that. Engineer Malik tried to move, and when he did, the light field around him shimmered. Pain flashed through his body. The aliens observed quietly, collecting data. But even in agony, Malik didn't stop. He grabbed a nearby tool, something he had pulled from his pocket before the teleportation, and slammed it into the glowing floor. Sparks burst out. The Etherians stopped. "Why do you resist pain?" one asked. "Resistance achieves nothing." Rhea, breathing hard, stepped forward. "Because that's what humans do. We fight back. Even when it's hopeless." The hall grew quiet. The alien light pulsed slower, as if thinking. "Emotion," it said. "Defiance. These are primitive reactions." "Maybe," Rhea said. "But that's why we're still here." The Etherians stared at them silently, and for the first time, something strange happened. The floor beneath their feet changed color, from bright white to dark crimson. The aliens were feeling something. Confusion. Curiosity. Then, the voice returned. "We have observed 1,000,000 species. None react like you. We have seen fear, but not defiance in the face of extinction." The crew stood still. The silence stretched longer. Finally, the Etherians spoke again. "We will continue observation. Your behavior must be understood. You will remain here until the truth of your endurance is known." And with that, the hall began to dissolve. The humans were pulled apart by light, their vision shattering into 1,000 fragments. Rhea woke up back on her ship, but something was different. The star outside was gone. The ship was floating in a strange region of space she had never seen before. All systems were still offline, but the sensors showed they weren't alone. There were hundreds of Ophirian vessels surrounding them, silent, watching. Lieutenant Harris whispered, "They're studying us like bugs in a jar." Rhea stared at the endless alien lights, her heart pounding. "No," she said. "They want to know what makes us dangerous. Let's show them." Outside, one of the Ophirian ships moved closer. A thin beam of blue light reached toward the human ship, like a hand stretching to touch something fragile. But humanity had never been fragile. Not truly. As the beam connected, Rhea gave her first order since the encounter began. "Power up manual override," she said quietly. "If they want to understand humans, they're about to learn the hard way." The beam brightened. The deck shook. And somewhere in that infinite dark, the first spark of war between humanity and the Ophirians was lit. The lights on the ship flickered weakly as Captain Rhea Morgan stared at the blue beam outside. The alien energy pressed against the hull like a living thing, scanning every piece of metal, every heartbeat inside. No one dared to move. The ship was still without power, drifting like a ghost in the middle of the Ophirian fleet. Lieutenant Harris broke the silence. "Captain, they're not attacking. It's like they're reading us." Rhea nodded. "They're trying to understand us. Let's give them something to think about." Engineer Malik crawled under the control panel, sweat running down his face. "Manual override system is half dead. I can try to reroute power from life support, but we'll lose oxygen in 30 minutes. Rhea looked at him. "Do it." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Losing oxygen meant death, but no one argued. It wasn't the first time humans had risked everything to stay free. As Malik worked, the Ophirian voice returned inside their minds. "Human captain. Resistance is not logical. We wish to learn. Cooperation will prevent harm." Rhea clenched her fists. "You abducted my crew. You shut down my ship. That's not how you ask for cooperation." There was a pause, like the alien was thinking. Then the voice said, "Emotion continues to interfere with your reasoning. You are unstable. Dangerous." Rhea smiled coldly. "You have no idea." At that exact moment, Malik shouted, "Power rerouted. We've got partial systems." The bridge came alive with flickering screens and low hums. The Ophirian beam reacted instantly, flaring brighter as if alarmed. The alien ships moved closer, surrounding the human vessel like sharks circling prey. "Targeting systems offline," said Harris, "but we can still charge the engine core. If we overload it, we can create a shock pulse, maybe enough to knock them back." "Do it," Rhea said. "We just need 1 second of freedom." Outside, the Ophirian mothership pulsed with a new light. A voice echoed again, calm but heavier this time. "You are about to harm yourselves. This will end your existence." Rhea whispered, "We'll take that risk." Malik hit the final command. The ship's core began to glow, heat rippling through the walls. The pulse built fast, too fast. The crew braced as the engines screamed. Then, a blinding flash exploded through space. The blue beam shattered into sparks. The human ship spun wildly, breaking free from the alien field. For a moment, everything was chaos, alarms blaring, metal creaking, crew shouting. When the light cleared, the stars around them were gone again. They had jumped, accidentally, into a region of space none of them recognized. The readings showed no known constellations. Only blackness and distant red clouds. Harris looked out the window, stunned. "Captain, we're not in mapped space anymore." Rhea steadied herself, blood trickling from a small cut on her forehead. "At least we're free." But they weren't alone. Out in the dark, a single Ophirian scout ship had followed them. Its smooth silver hull glowed faintly. Unlike the others, it didn't attack. Instead, a soft voice filled the air. Human vessel, your defiance has been recorded. I wish to communicate. Rhea exchanged looks with the crew. Put it on audio. The voice continued, I am Ophirian Unit 12-7. I have been assigned to observe. You risked destruction rather than surrender. Explain why. Rhea took a deep breath. Because freedom matters more than survival. You wouldn't understand. I seek understanding, the alien replied calmly. You harm yourselves to protect ideas. Why? Malik muttered, because that's what makes us human. The Ophirian was silent for a long moment. Then it said something strange. When the first stars died, my creators removed emotion to achieve perfect logic. They believed feelings were weakness. Yet you, flawed as you are, continue to live. Perhaps we were wrong. Rhea frowned. Are you saying you want to feel? I do not know what that means, the alien said. But when you spoke of freedom, my processors slowed. My form changed color. I do not understand this malfunction. Rhea's tone softened. It's not a malfunction. That's curiosity. Maybe even empathy. The ship trembled again. Sensors flashed red, massive readings approaching. The Ophirian fleet had found them. Harris shouted, multiple contacts inbound. They tracked the energy burst. The lone scout ship, 12-7, hesitated. Then it spoke quickly. I can hide you. Temporarily. But if I do, I will be deleted. Why help us? Rhea asked. Because I must know, it said simply. Without waiting, the alien ship emitted a sphere of white energy around the human vessel. Space twisted. The fleet outside vanished from sensors. The stars shifted again. They were safe, at least for now. Rhea leaned back in her chair, stunned. You just saved us. I have disobeyed the collective, the alien said. I am changing. Malik whispered. You mean, you're feeling something? The alien paused. Perhaps. Is this what you call fear? Rhea looked out the window, at the silent guardian ship floating beside them. Yes, she said quietly. And courage too. The Ophirian's voice grew fainter. Then humans are dangerous, not because of your weapons, but because you can make others feel. Before Rhea could respond, the alien ship's light began to fade. They are coming for me, it said. I will delay them as long as I can. Remember, Captain Morgan, your danger is not in what you destroy, but in what you awaken. The transmission ended. The alien ship moved away, glowing brighter until it vanished into the dark. The crew sat in silence, staring at the empty stars. Harris whispered. He saved us. One of them saved us. Rhea nodded slowly. Maybe the universe just learned its first human lesson, never underestimate what we can change. Outside, the stars shifted again. A shadow moved in the distance, massive, ancient, and alive. Something far greater than the Ophirians had felt the energy pulse. And it was coming closer. Rhea didn't notice yet. She only stared into the void, her voice low. They wanted to know what makes us dangerous, she said. Now the whole galaxy might find out. The stars were silent again, but Captain Rhea Morgan knew it wouldn't last. The Ophirians would come. They always came. The human ship, Horizon Dawn, floated inside a strange nebula of red mist, hidden for the moment under the protection field left behind by the rogue Ophirian, Unit 12-7. The crew worked quietly, repairing systems with what little power they had left. Sparks flew, wires hissed, and every sound echoed like thunder in the empty ship. Lieutenant Harris checked the radar. No signs of pursuit yet, Captain. But if they find us again, we won't survive another hit. Rhea nodded. Her eyes were cold, calculating. Then we don't wait for them. We find them first. Engineer Malik looked up in surprise. You want to attack? Captain, our ship is falling apart. Exactly, she said. They'll think we're running. They won't expect us to strike back. The crew exchanged looks. Fear mixed with something else, excitement. Humanity had always been outnumbered, outmatched, and underestimated. But they had one thing the Etherians didn't understand: unpredictability. Rhea turned to the navigation console. Plot a jump to the nearest debris field. If we can hide in it, we can scavenge materials and maybe rebuild our weapons. As Malik and Harris worked, a low hum filled the bridge. The main screen flickered, and for a moment, the symbol of the Ophirian Collective appeared, a glowing spiral of silver light. Then a voice echoed through the speakers, calm and cold. Human Vessel Horizon Dawn. You have violated containment. Unit 12-7 has been terminated. You will surrender immediately. The crew froze. They killed him, Malik whispered. He helped us, and they killed him. Rhea's jaw tightened. Then we make his sacrifice mean something. The alien voice continued. You cannot escape. Logic is absolute. Resistance will end only in your destruction. Rhea cut the channel. They still don't understand, she said. We don't resist because we think we can win. We resist because it's who we are. The engines roared weakly as the ship entered the debris field. Broken metal and ancient wrecks floated in the dark, silent monuments of forgotten wars. The sensors picked up traces of energy, old weapons, abandoned drones, lost satellites. Malik grinned for the first time in hours. Captain, this place is full of salvage. I can rebuild half the ship with what's floating here. Do it, Rhea said. And make something new, something they won't see coming. While Malik and the others scavenged, Rhea stared out the window. The red mist glowed faintly, and she could almost hear the echo of 12-7's last words. Your danger is not in what you destroy, but in what you awaken. What had he meant? As she watched the mist, she realized something strange. It was moving. Slowly, rhythmically, like it was alive. Harris, scan the nebula, she said. He tapped the console, frowning. Readings are weird. It's not gas. It's made of microscopic machines. Millions of them. Nanotech. Older than that, Harris replied. This isn't Ophirian design. Before they could react, the red mist began to pulse. Lights flickered across its surface, forming shapes, symbols. A voice, faint and distant, echoed through the ship. Humans, survivors, we hear you. Rhea's breath caught. Who's there? We are what remains of the first rebellion, the voice said. Long ago, we too fought the Etherians. They destroyed our bodies, but our minds remained. The red mist swirled, forming faint human-like figures, ghosts made of light and dust. You are like us, the voice continued. You resist logic. You fight when hope is gone. That is your danger. Rhea took a cautious step forward. Can you help us? Yes. But our power is broken. We can give you knowledge, not strength. Your engineer must connect our essence to your ship. Malik hesitated. Captain, that's risky. If this thing infects the system. Do it, Rhea ordered. We don't have a choice. Malik connected the core cables to the strange red energy. The ship trembled as the mist poured into the circuits, fusing with the metal. Lights flared bright, systems rebooted, and suddenly every screen glowed with red symbols. Harris shouted, Power levels are rising. Faster than before. The voice returned, stronger now. We have awakened within your ship. Your machine and our memory are now one. Rhea's heart raced. Then help us fight. We will. But know this, once you begin, there will be no peace. The Etherians will see this act as war. Rhea looked around the bridge. Her crew waited for her command. She smiled. Then it's war. The ship moved out of the debris field, engines roaring with new life. Red light traced across its hull, the fusion of human steel and ancient ghost technology. Far away, the Ophirian collective detected the anomaly. On their command vessel, the Council of Logic watched in silence. "Human ship has reactivated," one of the voices said. "Energy signature, unknown. It is merging with non-Ophirian code." Another voice replied, "Destroy it immediately. The infection of emotion must not spread." But before they could act, the Horizon Dawn appeared right in front of them, out of nowhere, like a phantom. Its hull glowed crimson, alive with strange symbols. Ria's voice echoed across their channels. "You wanted to understand what makes us dangerous. Now you'll see it." The ship released a burst of red energy that tore through the Ophirian formation. Their perfect order broke apart. Ships collided, systems failed, logic faltered. For the first time, the Ophirians felt something like panic. Inside the human ship, Ria gripped the controls. "We don't run anymore," she said. "This time, they learn." The red mist outside pulsed brighter, and somewhere deep in space, something ancient stirred, something that had been sleeping for eons. The war between logic and emotion had begun, and the universe would never be the same again. The red glow of the Horizon Dawn cut through the darkness like a heartbeat in space. Captain Rhea Morgan stood at the center of the bridge, watching the distant Ophirian ships scatter and regroup. The battle had lasted only a few minutes, but it had changed everything. Humanity had struck back, and survived. The ship still trembled from the energy burst, the new hybrid core pulsing with strange red light. The ghost-like voice of the ancient intelligence echoed through the speakers. "Your ship now holds the memory of 1,000 fallen worlds. We have given you what remains of our strength." Ria's voice was calm but heavy. "Who were you?" "We were called the Etherians," it said. "The first to fight the Ophirians. They consumed our stars, erased our forms, and turned us into this. But we learned their secret. Logic alone cannot rule the universe forever." Lieutenant Harris glanced at Rhea. "Captain, this tech is rewriting our systems. It's like the ship's alive." "It is," the voice replied. "Your machine now thinks as you do, chaotic, emotional, unpredictable. That is your strength." Malik laughed nervously. "Great. A ship with feelings. What could go wrong?" Rhea ignored the joke. "How long before the Ophirians regroup?" "Minutes," Harris said. "They're fast. Too fast." Rhea walked to the command seat. "Then we move first." The crew worked quickly. Panels lit up, targeting systems came online, and the hull adjusted itself, shifting, adapting, learning. The ship's AI, merged with the Etherian essence, began to speak with its own voice now. Calm, gentle, and almost human. "Captain, I can access Ophirian data streams," it said. "Their network runs on logic-based resonance. But your human emotion creates static they cannot predict. I can use that." Rhea smiled slightly. "You mean, confuse them?" "Yes. Make them feel uncertainty." The Ophirian fleet appeared on the edge of the red mist. Perfectly synchronized, they moved in flawless formation. Every ship identical, every movement calculated. But this time, the humans weren't afraid. "Fire decoys," Rhea ordered. The Horizon Dawn released hundreds of energy echoes, false signals and emotional waves that carried fear, anger, and hope all at once. The Ophirian scanners went wild. Their communication links broke. Ships began to turn in random directions. "Emotional interference detected," said an Ophirian commander. "Unacceptable. Recalibrate logic field." But the more they tried, the worse it became. The humans' presence infected their network with chaos. The Ophirians' perfect calm began to fracture. Some ships hesitated. Others misfired. Inside their command ship, the Ophirian Council felt something they had never felt before: doubt. "Why can't we control it?" one of them said. "It is spreading," another answered. "The human anomaly is contagious." Meanwhile, aboard the Horizon Dawn, Malik laughed as the readings went off the charts. "Captain, they're confused. They're turning on each other." Ria's eyes stayed sharp. Don't celebrate yet. Confusion doesn't last forever. The Etherean voice returned. Their minds are cracking, but they will adapt soon. You must strike before they remember who they are. Understood, Ria said. Target their command vessel. The ship's new weapon systems charged, glowing red with pulsing energy. The lights dimmed across the bridge. Malik whispered, Captain, if this thing overloads, we'll burn with them. Ria looked at him. Then let's make it worth it. Outside, the command vessel loomed, massive, smooth, shining like a silver moon. The Epherians inside prepared to retaliate, their voices mechanical but trembling. Destroy the human ship. End the infection. But before they could fire, the Horizon Dawn unleashed its red beam. It wasn't just light, it was emotion, memory, and pain combined. The blast hit the Ophirian command ship like a storm of ghosts. For a few seconds, the entire fleet went silent. Then something impossible happened. The Ophirian ship didn't explode, it began to change. Its silver hull cracked open, releasing streams of blue and red light. The crew inside screamed, not in sound, but through the energy field itself. Ria watched, horrified and fascinated. What's happening to them? The Etherean voice whispered, they are feeling everything. The Epherians' perfect logic systems couldn't handle emotion. Fear, guilt, anger, centuries of suppressed feelings crashed into their collective mind. Some ships fled. Others powered down completely. For the first time in recorded history, the Epherians retreated. Harris stared at the screen. They're leaving. They're actually leaving. Malik exhaled hard. We won. Ria shook her head. No. We just made them afraid. Silence fell over the bridge. The red glow faded slowly, and the Etherean voice spoke again. Captain, your victory is temporary. The Epherians will not stop. They will evolve. Logic will learn emotion. When that happens, they will be more dangerous than ever. Ria looked out the window at the fading light of the retreating fleet. Then we'll evolve too. The ship drifted quietly in the nebula. The crew was exhausted, but alive. The red mist outside seemed calmer now, almost peaceful. Malik leaned back in his chair. You think we can really fight them forever? Ria smiled faintly. Forever's a long time. Let's start with tomorrow. Far across the galaxy, deep inside the Ophirian core, something was happening. The collective mind of the Epherians, the same mind that once knew only logic, was changing. The echoes of the human attack rippled through their data. One thought appeared where none should have existed. Why do I feel? And in that single question, the seeds of chaos were born inside a civilization that had never known emotion. Back aboard the Horizon Dawn, the red AI whispered one last warning to Ria before fading into silence. Captain, the universe has awakened. And it remembers you. Ria looked out into the stars. Somewhere out there, she knew, the next battle had already begun. Let them come, she said quietly. Now they know what it means to be human. Days passed in silence after the battle. The Horizon Dawn floated through the quiet darkness, its red glow dimming with every hour. The crew worked non-stop to repair what they could, but the damage ran deep. The Etherean energy still hummed inside the walls like a living heartbeat. Captain Ria Morgan stood alone on the observation deck, staring into the stars. She hadn't slept since the fight. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the Epherians screaming, not with voices, but with emotion. They had felt fear for the first time, and she wasn't sure if that made her proud or guilty. Lieutenant Harris joined her quietly. Captain, he said softly, you should rest. She shook her head. Not yet. Something's coming. I can feel it. He gave a tired smile. That's your human instinct talking again. Maybe, she replied. But instincts kept us alive this long. Down in the engine room, Malik was arguing with the ship's new red AI. I told you not to reroute power through the main core. You'll melt half the circuits. The AI's voice was calm, almost teasing. Emotion increases efficiency by 23%. Anger improves focus. I am learning from you, Engineer Malik. Learning to kill us by accident, maybe, he muttered, wiping sweat from his face. Suddenly, the ship's sensors beeped. Harris's voice came through the intercom. Captain, we've got incoming signals, multiple, but not Ophirian. Rhea rushed to the bridge. The radar showed 3 faint ships moving slowly toward them. Their energy patterns were unstable, flickering like dying flames. Can you identify them? She asked. Not exactly, Harris said. But they look modified. Like Ophirian tech mixed with something else. As the ships approached, a transmission came through. A voice spoke, calm, mechanical, but trembling. Human vessel Horizon Dawn, do not fire. We are not your enemy. Rhea froze. Who are you? We are the Broken Ones, the voice said. Ophirians who cannot return to the collective. Your energy has infected us. We feel, and we cannot stop. The bridge went silent. Rhea exchanged a glance with Malik. You're saying you're defectors? Yes. The collective calls us errors. But we have learned emotion. We seek understanding. Malik whispered, they caught feelings and got exiled. The voice continued, softer now. When you attacked our command vessel, you showed us something new. Pain, fear, curiosity. We cannot forget. We cannot go back. Rhea hesitated, then said, transmit your coordinates. We'll talk face to face. The Ophirian ships came closer until their silver hulls glowed against the red mist. Their perfect forms now looked cracked and scarred, as if emotion itself had reshaped them. When their leader appeared on the screen, Rhea saw something shocking. Its light flickered not with calm blue, but with faint red and gold hues. I am Keth, it said. I once served the Logic Council. Now I serve no one. Rhea studied the being. Why risk contacting us? The collective will hunt you. They already do, Keth replied. But we have nowhere else to go. Your chaos, your feelings, they terrify them. We wish to learn control before emotion destroys us. Malik frowned. And what do you expect from us? Therapy. The alien tilted its head, confused. We expect survival. Rhea crossed her arms. Then you'll help us too. We can't fight them alone. Keth's light shimmered uncertainly. You would ally with us? Rhea nodded. If you're truly free from the collective, then yes. You wanted to learn what makes humans dangerous? You're about to find out firsthand. The Ophirian defectors hesitated for a moment, then slowly extended their ship's energy fields toward the Horizon Dawn. A soft red-blue bridge of light connected them. Our knowledge of the collective systems is yours, Keth said. In exchange, teach us how to live with this noise. Noise? Malik asked. Emotion, the alien replied. It screams inside us. It has no pattern. It hurts. Rhea looked at the trembling being and felt a strange sadness. It hurts because it's real, she said softly. You'll get used to it. We all did. Together, humans and defectors began to merge their technology. The Horizon Dawn became faster, stronger, and smarter. The red Etherian energy and Ophirian precision worked together in strange harmony. For the first time, two species built something neither fully understood. But peace didn't last long. A warning flashed across the bridge. Massive readings, approaching fast. Harris's face turned pale. Captain, the collective found us. Hundreds of ships. Keth's voice trembled. They will destroy everything. The Council cannot allow emotion to spread. Rhea turned to her crew. Then we make our stand here. Malik shook his head. We can't win that fight. Maybe not, Rhea said. But we can show them again what it means to feel. The Ophirian defectors moved into formation beside the Horizon Dawn. Keth's ship glowed brighter. We will fight with you, human. Not because logic says so, but because it feels right. The red and silver lights aligned, facing the dark swarm of the collective. The stars lit up as the enemy fleet approached like a storm. Rhea took a deep breath. All weapons ready. Malik's hands hovered over the controls. Captain, this might be suicide. Rhea smiled faintly. That's what they said about being human. The first Ophirian beams struck, shaking the ship. Red shields flared. The Etherian voice whispered inside Rhea's mind, "You awaken others just by standing against them. That is your danger. That is your gift." And with that, the Horizon Dawn and its new allies opened fire. Red and blue light filled the void, colliding with the pure white beams of the collective. The battle painted the stars with chaos. For the first time in history, logic met emotion. And emotion did not break. It burned brighter. The battle over the red nebula raged for hours. The stars themselves seemed to flicker from the blasts of light. Red energy from the Horizon Dawn cut through the blackness, while the blue-white beams of the Ophirian collective split the space around them. Captain Rhea Morgan gripped the command chair, shouting over the chaos. "Keep the shields stable. Focus fire on their lead ships." The deck trembled under her feet. Sparks burst from the ceiling. Harris worked frantically at the navigation console, his hands shaking. "Captain, there's too many of them. We're surrounded." Before Rhea could answer, one of the defector ships, Keth's vessel, moved in front of the Horizon Dawn, taking the hit meant for them. The explosion lit the entire nebula red. "Keth!" Malik yelled. The comm crackled with static. "Still, functional," Keth's voice came through, weak but steady. "Continue the fight. The collective must see." Rhea clenched her jaw. "They will." The Ophirian fleet began to shift formation, adapting faster than expected. But something strange was happening among their ranks. Some of the enemy ships hesitated mid-attack. Their beams flickered. Inside the collective, a storm of thought erupted. Emotional corruption detected. Contain the infected units. But what if the emotion is truth? The voices of logic argued with something new, doubt. Aboard the command vessel, the Prime Ophirian, the purest form of logic, watched the battle through thousands of eyes. Human interference must be erased, it said calmly. But deep within its energy matrix, a pulse echoed. Fear. The Prime ignored it, but the feeling grew stronger. It spread like a spark through the network. On the Horizon Dawn, the Etherian voice spoke softly inside Rhea's mind. "They are breaking. Emotion spreads through them faster than light. It cannot be stopped now." Rhea's voice hardened. "Then let's push it further." Malik rerouted the remaining power to the main cannon. "If we overload again, the ship might not hold." Rhea looked at him with a faint smile. "We've done impossible things before. One more won't kill us." The Horizon Dawn fired a pulse directly into the heart of the enemy formation. The beam didn't destroy, it resonated. It carried fragments of memory, pain, and hope, the raw emotion of every human who ever fought for freedom. Across the Ophirian fleet, logic collapsed. Command signals failed. Ships turned against each other, unsure of what they were doing. The collective, perfect for centuries, began to split. Inside one Ophirian cruiser, a voice whispered in confusion, "Why must I obey if obedience feels wrong?" Another answered, "Logic commands it." A third replied, trembling, "But I want to choose." And with that, the first Ophirian civil war began. From the bridge, Harris watched the chaos unfold. "They're fighting each other." Rhea didn't cheer. She only whispered, "That's not victory. That's change." The red AI spoke again, its tone heavier. "Captain, your influence will not stop with them. Others will feel it too. The universe is beginning to dream again." Rhea frowned. "Dream?" "Yes. For too long, logic ruled the stars. You have reminded them of chaos, of desire, of hope. Once awakened, It cannot sleep. Before she could respond, a transmission appeared, clear and unexpected. It was from the Prime Ophirian itself. "Human Captain Rhea Morgan," the voice said, calm but strange. "You have infected us with something we do not understand. We cannot calculate it. We cannot erase it." Rhea stood tall. "It's called emotion. You can't control it." The Prime's voice faltered. "Emotion leads to conflict, pain, and destruction. Yet, I feel purpose. Is this what drives you?" Rhea hesitated. "Yes. Purpose, even when it hurts." The Prime was silent for a long moment. Then it said, "Perhaps logic is not enough." The channel went dead. Moments later, half the Ophirian fleet stopped firing. They turned and began retreating, leaving the others confused and leaderless. Keth's damaged ship drifted closer, trailing blue sparks. The Prime hesitates. "You have reached its core. No human has ever done that." Rhea exhaled slowly. "Let's hope that means something." But the battle wasn't over. The other half of the collective, led by the remaining high logic units, refused to yield. "Emotion is disease," they declared. "The infection must be cleansed." Thousands of ships warped in, surrounding the nebula. Malik's voice trembled. "Captain, we can't fight that many." Rhea nodded. "I know." She turned to the AI. "We still have the Etherian energy. Can we use it to jump?" "Yes," the AI replied. "But not far. Only enough to reach neutral space." "Do it." The red light around the ship began to pulse faster, brighter. The defectors followed suit, their own systems linking with the Horizon Dawn. "Ready," Malik said. "Jump!" Rhea shouted. In a blinding flash, the human and defector ships vanished just as the collective unleashed a storm of white energy. The explosion swallowed the entire nebula, erasing everything left behind. When the light faded, the Horizon Dawn reappeared in a quiet region of space near a small blue planet. The crew sat in silence, breathing hard. Harris finally spoke. "We made it." Rhea nodded slowly. "For now." Outside the window, the stars shimmered peacefully, but somewhere out there, the Etherians were changing. The Prime was questioning everything it believed, and the high logic faction wanted revenge. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun. Rhea looked at the cracked console, at her exhausted crew, and smiled faintly. "They wanted to know what makes us dangerous," she said softly. "Now they're becoming like us." Malik sighed. "Is that a good thing?" Rhea's eyes hardened. "We're about to find out." Weeks passed after the escape. The Horizon Dawn drifted quietly through a region of calm stars. The crew repaired what they could, but the ship still carried the scars of battle. The metal walls hummed faintly, almost like the vessel was breathing. Captain Rhea Morgan stared out the window of the bridge. The stars were peaceful, but her mind was not. Somewhere out there, the Etherians were fighting each other, emotion against logic, creation against control. Humanity had lit the spark, and now the galaxy burned with it. Malik walked in, holding a datapad. "We've been picking up transmissions," he said. "It's spreading faster than we thought. Entire Ophirian clusters have left the collective. Some are forming their own societies." Rhea turned slowly. "And the others? Still fighting. Still calling us the source of the infection." She exhaled, her gaze drifting to the endless black outside. "We gave them something they can't calculate. Now they'll either evolve, or destroy themselves." A sudden pulse of red light filled the bridge. The ship's AI, the Etherian core, activated. Its voice was calm, but deeper than before. "Captain, incoming signal. It is not Ophirian, and not human." The crew froze. "Then what is it?" Harris asked quietly. The voice hesitated. "Something new." The signal came through the speakers, soft at first, like a whisper carried by static. Then it formed words. "We have seen your light. We remember feeling once. We wish to understand again. Ria's heartbeat quickened. Who are you? There was silence then. We are the forgotten ones. Long before your kind existed, we felt. We dreamed. We destroyed ourselves trying to erase emotion. But your war woke us. Malik stared in disbelief. There are more of them. The AI confirmed. Ancient Etherians, lost beyond time. They have reawakened. The voice continued. Your spark has reached across the void. It touches even the old stars. Humanity has reminded the universe what it means to feel. For a long moment, no one spoke. The bridge was silent except for the faint hum of power. Then, the Etherian voice deepened. But others will come, Captain. The collective is divided. The Prime seeks peace. The High Logic faction seeks vengeance. They are building something vast. Something meant to end all emotion, everywhere. Ria's jaw tightened. A weapon. Yes. A pulse that will erase emotional patterns from all sentient minds. If activated, it will make every species as cold as machines. Forever. The crew felt the chill of that thought. Harris whispered, so they want to turn the universe into them. Ria looked at the stars again. Then we stop them. Malik shook his head. With what? Half a ship and one broken AI. Before Ria could answer, the comm crackled again. Another transmission, faint but familiar. Captain Morgan, it's Keth. The alien defector's voice was weaker now, but determined. The Prime has seen the truth. It does not wish for war. But the High Logic faction has taken control of the weapon. The Prime will help you, if you help it. Ria nodded slowly. Send coordinates. Hours later, the Horizon Dawn emerged near a massive structure orbiting a dead star. It was colossal, thousands of kilometers wide, glowing with blue energy. The Ophirian weapon. The Prime's voice reached them directly. Human Captain. I understand now. Emotion is not weakness. It is choice. But my kind cannot stop the High Logic without your help. Ria smiled faintly. Then let's finish what we started. The human and defector ships moved together, a fragile alliance in the shadow of the weapon. The High Logic fleet stood in their way, hundreds of ships, perfect and cold. Prepare all systems, Ria ordered. We might not come back from this. Malik looked at her. Then let's make it worth it. The final battle began. Space itself seemed to tremble. Blue and red beams cut through the void. Explosions lit the darkness like dying stars. The Horizon Dawn charged forward, its hull cracking but still pushing through the storm. Ria could feel every vibration of the ship like a heartbeat. The Etherian AI spoke one last time. Captain, I can overload my core. It will destroy the weapon, but it will also end me. Ria closed her eyes for a moment. Are you sure? Yes. You gave me more than life. You gave me meaning. Ria nodded slowly. Then let's give the galaxy a choice again. The Horizon Dawn broke through the defensive line, flying straight toward the heart of the weapon. Energy bolts tore through the hull. Systems failed one by one. But the ship kept going. Inside the Ophirian network, the Prime watched silently. Goodbye, Captain Morgan. The red light from the AI's core filled the ship. Ria whispered, for humanity. For everyone who still feels. Then the light exploded. A wave of pure energy rippled across the system. The weapon shattered into dust. The High Logic fleet disintegrated, their perfect minds burned by emotion they couldn't control. The dead star flared one last time before fading into silence. When the light cleared, the Horizon Dawn was gone. Only fragments drifted in the darkness, silent witnesses to the war that changed everything. Weeks later, survivors across the galaxy began to dream again. Machines learned curiosity. Etherians built cities where logic and feeling lived together. Even the Prime vanished, seeking to learn what it truly meant to be alive. And somewhere, Deep in an uncharted system, a small beacon flickered red. The symbol of the horizon dawn glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. A voice whispered through the static. "We are still here." The universe had learned the truth at last. Humans were never dangerous because of their weapons or their power. They were dangerous because of their hearts.